your girl Penny here with Let's Talk About It. We had some good conversation at the last group meeting. Um, just give y'all an update on the weather here. It's a little chilly, windy, very windy. Uh, Let me know how y'all weather is doing there. I see that we had some snowstorms and blizzards in different parts of the country. So let me know how y'all weather is doing and how y'all are doing today. I'm doing good. Um, we had good conversation about cheating, but today I want to talk about being best friends with your significant other. I think that is a very important part in a relationship. In any relationship. Now, this is my opinion. When you're in a relationship and you're friends, it helps the communication. I always say that I miss my husband. If we ever got a divorce or we separated, I would miss my friendship with him more than I would miss the marriage because he's my best friend. When women intend to have other women as their best friend, they will tell them everything about their relationship and about their life, um, about their life. But when it comes to telling your husband, your significant other, or your spouse about what's going on in your life, or have good conversation with them, you won't tell them. But how long is that friend gonna stick around? People will be your friend today and they'll be gone tomorrow. I can tell my husband anything because we're best friends. I'm not a jealous woman and he's not a jealous man. If I see a young man and he looks nice, I say, "Ooh, that's nice what he got on. He looks nice." It don't bring up an argument because we best friends. You know who you going home with. So I see, like, when guys, they can go and talk to they boys about this, go shoot hoops. Why can't you do that with your girl? She might not make every hoop, but do things with her as you could do with your guys. I could sit here and say that when it comes to conversation about things that we agree or disagree, because in this world you agree to disagree. Thanks, Sheena. I see you watching. Hi, Pauline. Um, we're gonna disagree to agree. Hey, Melanie, Chuck. We're gonna agree to disagree because at the end of the day, we all have our opinions. Nobody say be a robot in a relationship. If you don't have opinion to agree to disagree, then there's something wrong with your relationship. You can go shopping with your girlfriend. Why you can't take your man with you? I'm not telling you, and please don't think that I'm saying that it's not good to have girlfriends and it's not good for guys to have friends, but be able to have those same conversations that you had with your friend, your girlfriend. You should be able to have the same conversation with your man or your significant other. The same conversation he could have with his boys, he should be able to have with his girlfriend or his significant other. Because at the end of the day, they're the one gonna have your back if anything go down. If anything really go down, that woman or that man got your back. Because I know if anything go down with my husband, I got his back 100% because that's my best friend. But at the end of the day, people would rather go tell their girlfriends. And then when you and that woman stop being friends, ooh, when you stop being friends, what happened? Everything that you told her or you did around her or around him or he did around his buddies is coming out. It is coming out. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen people be in marriages and they break up and they have some real drag out fights after trying to go through a divorce. They put their wives or their husband business out there, but that's rare. That is rare. But it's not rare for that girlfriend of yours to go and tell everybody what you done did. If you can't pay your bills, the kids is hungry, you had to borrow some sugar, you had to borrow a couple dollars from them, they're gonna go tell it. All right, China. They are gonna go tell it. So your best bet is to try to be your spouse's best friend and your spouse be your best friend. I know y'all not heard of pillow talk. When you have that pillow talk and you talking about things, let them know. If you're not happy about something that they did, if they're your best friend, you should be able to tell them. Hey, Chantel. So at the end of the day, you want your spouse to be your best friend. And I'm looking, I'm looking at Miss Penny. She is the one helping me read your views. So that's what we're here for, is to let's talk about what is going on. So I want to hear y'all point of views about what's going on. Let me know how you feel about your husband or your significant other being your best friend. Because I know I had plenty of people that so-called said they was my best friend. And as soon as we had a disagreement or they didn't like something, they stopped speaking to me. They stopped talking to me. And people stop being your friend for the unusual reason, for different reasons. And you didn't do nothing. But when your husband or your spouse or your significant other, if you do something wrong, they're going to come and talk to you about it. Sometimes you may have a disagreement or argument about it, but they are going to talk to you about it. Melanie say, communication is a key factor in the marriage relationship. That is so true. Because when you communicate, everything else just flow with it. A lot of people don't believe that, but everything else flow with it. I think Shertea has an opinion on this.
I do.
Okay.
My opinion about your mate being your best friend is, if you're not friends, what are you in a relationship with him for?
That's true, but some people just like that love. They're not worried about that friendship. They are just there for that love. A lot of people don't know how to be their spouse's best friend, because that communication is not there. They don't have that type of communication.
I understand that part, but at the same point in time, I mean, if your relationship isn't based off of friendship, you don't have a relationship, and that's my personal opinion.
And you're
right.
I
look at you and Dad's relationship, And you can't wait to tell him some good news. He can't wait to come tell you some good news. And who do you want to tell your good news to? Your best friend. That's how I look at it.
You're right. And like you say, that's your opinion. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, how they look at a relationship. Because sometimes when a relationship is not, don't have that friendship and that communication, it can kind of interfere with that trust. It's a fine line with trust. So when you are dealing with friendship, friends have a lot of trust in each other. That's why they tell them everything. They trust them that they're gonna keep that secret. But as soon as their friendship break up, guess what? You gave them the free ticket to go tell everything I told them. You gave them that free ticket. You gave them that bank card that say go deposit my business.
True. That's true. That's true. And that's why you shouldn't, when you're, it's a difference if you're in a relationship than when you're in a marriage and you're trying to get to that marriage and you do have your friend girl to talk to and to confide in and stuff like that. But once you say I do, it's supposed to be between me and you, not between me and Tina. You get what I'm saying? But between me and you, my spouse, my mate. And at certain point in time, you shouldn't be telling what goes on behind closed doors. That's my personal opinion.
Yes. I want y'all to understand that we all have our opinion, own personal opinion. But at the end of the day, when you just think about it, when you deposit bank money in the bank, right? That money is secured by you and that bank.
True.
When you deposit your information to your best friend, it's secured by you and it's supposed to be your best friend. Now, when you and that person is not friends anymore, guess what? They just withdrew your money. They took all your information out of their bank account. But when you in a marriage, y'all gonna share together anyway. So once you make that deposit of your information to your husband or your wife or your significant other, guess what? It's staying right there in that bank account, building up, that communication, building up, that trust, building up. All of it's building up. So I could tell, how can I say this? I could tell John, that's my husband's name if some of y'all don't know. I could tell John anything. Melanie say, in my opinion, is not wrong. Each of us have our own thoughts, putting thoughts together and coming on common ground. That's true. You're right.
You got to read her first comment first. She said yes, because then he's confiding in someone else.
That's where that same conversation we just had, that's where he confiding in somebody else, because that's where that cheating, I'm telling y'all, you got to communicate. You got to talk to one another. You got to have that relationship. Hi, Yolanda. You got to have that relationship with your spouse or your significant other about everything. everything. Lay it on the table.
Well, I mean, you know my situation that occurred, and the last relationship I was in, that was the main reason we broke up, was because of communication. And I came to you and I told you, I said, he does not talk to me. And you said, you know what I'm saying? Without communication, y'all have nothing.
You don't.
So who is he talking to? So if you're not talking to me, that means you're talking to your friend. And that's why we're not together now. You see what I'm saying?
It's not all the time that, hold up. It's not all the time that they're talking to and don't get me wrong now. It's not all the time that they're talking to another woman, okay? It's not all the time that they have been taking y'all conversation, y'all issues and problems or whatever to another woman. Sometimes they are just taking it to their friend. They're taking it to their friend. And that's what you don't want. You want them to be able, hey, Carolyn, you want them to be able to communicate with you. And you communicate with them. Best friends, this is mostly to the younger people, that the ones that's not married and they're dating. If you date someone or dating someone and you're best friends, when you decide to get married, it's going to be easy. That's going to be a smooth relationship because you already not set the boundaries. You already not set it in place. You already not put it in place that we're going to be friends. We're going to do this thing together. Yes. We're going to do this together. So you have to make sure that you communicate. I sit and I listen to a lot of, being in the military, I've watched a lot of marriages go down. And the first thing that a lot of them talk about is, and I'm not talking about all military, my husband always going to the club with his friends. My husband always going to the gym with his friends. He always hanging out with his friends. Or my wife always want to go shopping with her friends. My wife always want to go do this with her friends. There's no room for them to fit in. So if you're not hanging out or partying or doing, even though if you don't drink alcohol, my husband don't drink alcohol, but he used to go to the club with me and have him a Coca-Cola.
Sure.
He used to be my friends was like to him to go party because he was the designated driver. So that's the thing that I'm saying. You got to be best friends. You have to be best friends. So I just want you to sit down with your spouse or your significant other and just have a conversation, or you could play a game. Try this game to see how much you know about each other. That would show communication and it would show you friendship. How much do I know you know about me? And it could be simple questions. I remember once I had asked John what was my favorite food. And you know, all talking to the black people, all y'all gonna say collard greens or fried chicken or turnip. You're gonna say something in the soul food. But I told him no. My favorite food is spaghetti. If I see spaghetti, somebody eats spaghetti on TV, I'm gonna cook me some homemade spaghetti tomorrow. I love spaghetti. So after he couldn't figure out my favorite food, we sat down and we played the game. We would ask the question, what is my favorite color? It don't have to be nothing that, you know, what I don't like, why I don't like sports. That gets the communication and talking going. And you'll be surprised how long you'll sit there having that conversation with your spouse or your significant other. You got to communicate and you got to know each other. Because it's not hard. We can make marriage hard. We can make a relationship hard, or we can make it easy. Hi, Ashley. You can make it hard because you're not communicating and you're not working together as a team. Now, don't get me wrong. Out of 35 years, it didn't come when the first couple years we was married. Now, I don't want nobody to think that that's the way my marriage has been. No, because I'm being real. Because when I said let's talk about it, that's the membership. We're gonna let's talk about it, and I'm gonna be real. We had our times when the communication was not there. Then we saw that we weren't getting anywhere. We was instead of team, we would TEAM, we was doing the TIAM, timing, however you want to pronounce that word. We was going like this. Then when that communication started, we started thinking about what we was doing. Man, we in a marriage. We said to death do us apart. We got to do this thing. We got to come together as a team, communicate. And as we've gotten older, and as we got older, we don't argue. He say what he gotta say, I say what I gotta say, and then later on we gonna talk about it. We don't always agree. I'm nobody's robot. Please believe that. We don't always agree, but if it's something that's kind of heated, like we know it's going to get heated, okay, you feel like this about it, I feel like this about it, that's the end of it. Now tomorrow, we're not mad, because I'm not mad. I'm going to say what I got to say. But tomorrow we're going to talk about it. It may be sometimes late on that night, laying in the bed, he may say, hey, Penny, hey, babe, this is the reason why I said that. And I hate to tell y'all, he's the one that apologizes all the time. But I'm just joking. But yes, Carolyn say your spouse should become your best friend. You should tell, besides I love you, tell them that they are your friend also. That's true. I tell him all the time, you're my best friend. Because I know it's a lot of things that I have been through in my life that I couldn't have shared with anybody else but him. Because I know we have cried together, we have laughed together, but guess what? We did it together. We have been broke together. We've had plenty of money together. but we did it together. And when you feel yourself where you can't communicate, then hold up, come take that. You know how the fishing rail go? They take it, they throw it out, and then they reel it back in. Throw that fishing rail out there, reel that best friend back in. Come on, baby. Where you think you going? We finna talk about this. Hey, Stacy. Yes, when you feel yourself getting with that communication, I know that's right, Tiara. Because sometimes, you know, we have to pull them back in. And they have to pull us back in. Don't always think that you're doing all the pulling. They have to reel us in. Sometimes we get to hanging with our little girlfriends, going to the mall. And I'm going to tell you a story happened in Germany. When we was in Germany, I had a girl that I used to hang out with. Me and her and my granddaughter, my daughter, we used to be going to Czech everywhere. We used to be on every time they had a trip, we would go. And one day John had to pull me in and say, is you married to her or me? Is that your new husband? And believe it or not, penny being penny, I had to think about it. I'm a little slow sometimes. I'm getting offensive. What you trying to say here? Then I was like, you know what? Do you want to go on this trip to Greece with us? I was like, no, you're my best friend and you're my husband. So do you want to go to Greece? Yeah, he had to take that fishing pole and come on, Penny, come on back. Come on. And I'm glad he did that, because if he hadn't done that, I'd still been going. That's where that love, that friendship, that communication, that trust, all that, it fall in place. But he did have that trust in me, that he knew that I wasn't going out there to meet when we was going places, I wasn't going to meet no other man. But that communication wasn't there. I was losing it. So we just have to have that communication. And like Carolyn say, every now and then, besides telling your significant other, your husband, that you love them, look at them and say, you know what, you're my best friend, honey. Because I do that. And I like having him as my best friend. And like I say, we laugh together, we cry together, but guess what? We're together. We've been through the hard times together, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But he told me something yesterday that it really surprised me, the way he put it. He said, this path that we have taken together for 35 years was meant for me and you to take this path together. It wasn't meant for you to be with nobody else on your path. It wasn't meant for me to be with nobody else on my path. It was meant for you. God meant for you and me to go down this path together, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I said, all right now, I got a little more in me now. I know we got about 5 or 6 more years on us. So we're going to do this thing till death do us apart. So I'm not telling y'all not to, I'm trying to get y'all to understand and to go and reach out to your spouse. If he want to go to a basketball game, sometime go with him. You might not like to sit there and eat on some popcorn. Fake it. Act like you know. Good shot. You probably didn't even make a shot. Go to the gym. You can fake it, put 5 pounds on each weight and act like you lifting some weight. Put on them nice little athlete suits, outfits. He'll probably put them weights down and say, let's go. Act like you walking the treadmill. It go down to 1 point something. You just stand there and walk for 5 minutes. Go to the gym. That's your best friend. That's your lover, your husband, your soulmate. And let them know that. Because we're gonna have some good conversation with Let's Talk About It. Invite your friends, tell them to follow, join, because we got some good conversations. And I had a lot of feedback on the Let's Talk About It group Monday when we talked about cheating, and people have given me a lot of good things they want to hear me talk about. So come on, let's keep them coming. Keep the invites going. Our membership is steady growing, and I thank y'all for that. I appreciate every one of y'all. And let's keep it going. So what I want to say to you, if you don't do but one thing for me today, let your significant other know that they're your best friend. If you just only say, hey, best friend, honey, let's go for a walk. You don't have to walk far. Hang out with your best friend. Do things with your best friend, because they're going to be there for you. I always tell people, if you want to know if people are your real friend, get broke, get hungry, or go to jail, and see how many of them stick by you. You get homeless, they gonna say, oh, you can stay here for a week or two, but you got to go soon. But your significant other, your husband, your spouse, or your wife, we gonna sleep in this car together. We gonna sleep in this cardboard box together. We're gonna be hungry together. We're gonna split this chicken leg together. Come on now, talk to me. Let me hear what your feedback on it, because I know this is the way it works on my behalf. This is the way it works. But I just want y'all to enjoy life, enjoy each other, and keep tuning in. And like I said, if you don't catch us live, you can catch us on Facebook. Let's talk about it. This is your girl Penny. I have enjoyed y'all. Peace. Good night.